How's it going, people of the DC Universe? We just got a brand new, or should I say the official trailer for Black Adam. So today we're getting into the breakdown. Just before anyone asks, yes, I have heard the news about Joker 2. If you didn't know already, we've actually been covering the development for Joker 2 for quite some time. I will be posting a breakdown video on that and just what the movie could very well be about tomorrow. Quite a few breakdowns to get out at the minute. Got Kenobi, other bits and bobs. So yeah, let's dive into Black Adam and the trailer and all of the details and just what I think could be going on based on what we know, and then at the end just kind of give my summary thoughts on what the official trailer had to showcase to us, because yeah, that looked pretty kick-ass. And if you find yourself brand new to this channel, do consider subscribing. Check out some of my other recent videos. I'm sure you'll be interested in various coverage. We cover quite a bit here. But yeah, let's start right at the beginning. And that is when the trailer opens up with Dr. Fate saying, "Black Adam, what have your powers ever given to you? Nothing but heartache." And that's as we see a very interesting scene here of Black Adam being put into a containment cryopod unit, possibly by Intergang, because if you didn't know, Intergang are the very organization, if you will, that have taken over present-day Kahndaq. Kahndaq being the place of where Black Adam came from 5,000 years ago, and we're going to get into some details like that. But at the same time, this trailer is kind of ambiguous. That patch on the shoulder of that person there escorting the cryopod unit does remind me of an Argus logo with a little bit of a sideways A, if you know what I mean. And we've all heard, or maybe you haven't heard, for quite a while now, that Harcourt from Peacemaker, as well as Dyebeard, should be making an appearance in Black Adam with minor roles. So maybe this has something to do with Argus. I'm not sure. That is quite advanced stuff with regards to containing Black Adam within this cryo fluid, in this cryopod. But then again, so are Intergang. They're known to have quite advanced stuff themselves. That's when we hear from Black Adam saying that he was a slave until he died, then he was reborn a god. And that's when we get scenes from the teaser we got a while back now with him decimating people, with him returning after 5,000 years. Guessing this scene, what they're showcasing from previous teasers, is when he's taken from present-day Kahndaq, because in that previous teaser, we saw two members from the Freedom Fighters, one of them being Adriana, who leads the opposition and resistance against Intergang, witnessing like all of this go down with Black Adam just shredding everyone in that room, apart from her, of course. And I kind of doubt, with regards to what we were just talking about, that Black Adam just gets depowered in this moment. If anything, it's just showing his absolute strength. So I doubt he's going to get depowered and then put into the cryopod. And I think one of the most telling details about the cryopod is that he appears, when he's going into it, he appears to be in his 5,000 years old somewhat get-up, if you know what I mean. Like, as you saw in the motion comic stuff that you're probably seeing on screen right now, that's the stuff he wore when he was imprisoned by the Old Shazam due to him trying to overthrow the Overlord back then via the 7 deadly sins, which, yeah, as he says himself, I did what I needed to be done, but instead they imprisoned me for it. So this is more likely the first actual sighting of Black Adam in his most earliest form. I don't know if he's being transported to that same location as to where he just comes in and decimates everyone. It seems to be a bit wet on the floor in both locations. I don't know if that's a link, but let's move on to the next part, in where he says, "My son sacrificed his life to save me, and now I kneel to no one." And I'm sure that's what Dr. Fate is referencing, with regards to also some other things I'm sure as well. But first and foremost, perhaps the loss of his son and what ended up getting Black Adam to where he is now, and that's 5,000 years in the future. Now, you may be wondering just who is like the villain of this movie. Now, before anyone says Black Adam, no, it's like, I know what you're saying, but there's still like an antagonist to Black Adam in this movie, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking Intergang, and they are like the overall organization, oppressors of Kahndaq, you could say, who have it under their control. Adriana leading the resistance fighters against them, but there's probably like, you know, the pillar figure of Intergang that will be, you know, the face of them. And that has been rumored for a while, at least the antagonist may be behind Intergang and the control of present-day Kahndaq to be played by Marwan Kenzari, and his role could be that of Sabak. Now, the Illuminati reported quite a while back that he's playing the Ishmael Gregor version of Sabak, seeking the crown of Sabak, of which we could have actually seen in the previous teaser footage that you're seeing on screen right now. A lot of people were thinking, including myself, that is this just like one of the, like an old crown that perhaps belonged to Black Adam, but when you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together with some of these rumors out there, it could fit together with the larger antagonist behind that of Intergang. So as for Sabak, like, this could indeed make sense with that teaser, since Gregor desired the power of Sabak and eventually gained it. So to be honest, they could be playing off of that instead of the Ishmael Gregor version of Sabak gaining power from that of Timothy Khan's. Bottom line, in this version, they could be going for the power is, or what Intergang are seeking is the power of Sabak contained within that crown. Now, as for Sabak could indeed tie into the movie, since he is more of a Shazam villain, like, how does that make him a Black Adam villain? Again, it doesn't really need to inherently make him, oh, why is a Shazam villain being a Black Adam villain in Black Adam's movie? If these reports turn out to be true, it is more likely what I've been saying with how Intergang are still likely the big villains, of whom Black Adam, along with Adriana and the JSA, are wanting to free Kahndaq of, and they probably have ties and are emboldened by a leader who is just trying to equip himself with some ultimate power to maintain control and, I guess, further oppress any kind of people or threat that may come their way. And if you also know about Intergang from that of the source material, this shouldn't really sound too surprising if it does indeed to be turning out true in the movie, with Ishmael Gregor perhaps being played by Marwan Kenzari. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, by the way, because it's not surprising given Intergang's ties to that of other powerful, and I mean really powerful, DC characters in the comics, and just Varys power in general. So, you know, seeking out the power of Sabak in this movie to maintain dominance would be kind of a good reason, or equivalent-esque kind of power for Black Adam to go up against, plus the JSA. Which is why, when I tied this back to earlier, is why perhaps I don't think that first teaser we got a while back is really the first time we see him being awoken. It could just be him trying to prevent Intergang members and the main villain seeking Sabak's power from retrieving the crown, with perhaps Adriana being forced to go there with them. Which reminds me of when Intergang came to Kahndaq and offered Adriana as a tribute to Black Adam. So I don't know if any of this will be a play on that. I mean, I kind of doubt it. As I said, a lot of this is ambiguous, and as I always say, adaptations aren't copy and paste, so this could be like a mishmash of all of this stuff going on in this adaptation. And who is Sabak, by the way? Well, he is essentially like this kind of demonic beast, if you will. He has demonic powers, and again, I don't think this film would go that route through giving us like a Trigon-esque kind of CGI beast, if you will. It would probably be more like, oh yes, I have the crown, I can assert my power, go Intergang, you know, and things like that. I think it would be more that route rather than morphing someone into a big grand beast. But I do want to say at the same time, since there is really kind of no hint other than that crown in the previous trailers of the actual larger singular antagonist behind Intergang, such as Sabak, that was rumored, then maybe the rumors might not be true. But then again, in the official trailer, considering we will get like a trailer 2, etc., they might just not give away like who is the main pillar, as I said, behind Intergang in that of the first 2-minute little teaser. This is when we see what I believe is the JSA ship flying over present-day Kahndaq. I think we see Hawkman just drop through the floor there, and we hear him trying to give a little bit of a modern-day lesson to that of Black Adam, of whom hasn't caught up with superhero business after 5,000 years, saying that in this world you have heroes and you have villains, and this is when we get a showcase of exactly that, such as this shot we've seen before, and also the Atom Smasher shot in a similar one. I feel like they could have given us some extra looks here at the other characters. I don't believe we've seen this kick-ass shot of Dr. Fate, though, using his powers. Not gonna lie, though, still a little bit salty about Dr. Fate's eyes, just in case you didn't know. It seems that he only has like one indent on his helmet for an eye, and then in the divide there's just nothing on the other side. Like, I'm not really all about white eyes for heroes, I'm not about white eyes for Batman, but with Dr. Fate and this amazing costume, by the way, I want to say that I'm not complaining too much here, but god, it would have looked so good with 2 white eyes rather than just, you know, the helmet, one kind of indent of an eye, and then nothing on the other side. It's like, why? It could have been so much more epic. And I'm guessing that these are Intergang people, because this looks like some really advanced tech there. So that's very interesting stuff, especially with regards to that of the source material. And that's because Intergang often possess like really, really advanced tech. Even alien powerful tech due to their ties with larger DC characters, even that of the new gods. And as a result of this kind of gives them a little bit of a fighting chance against that of super people, if you will, like that of Black Adam. Even though, to be fair, as I'm looking at this trailer, it doesn't really seem to be doing them any favors. Like, Black Adam just smashes one of them aside as if a Jedi just force pushed a speeder bike in Star Wars. And I know with regards to Intergang, lots of people are like, and I've had this question quite a few times before, it's like, oh, Boba, since Intergang are in, you know, this DCEU movie, is this going to speak to the larger dark side connection? Because if you didn't already know, Intergang even uses apocalypse technology. They, as I said, have links with larger DC characters, and one of them is indeed Darkseid. But to be fair, I don't think they're really going to acknowledge that. I think they're going to do a twist on, oh yeah, we got this advanced tech this way. This is how we came into possession of this, and these are all our ties with all of these things, right? But I don't think one of them will be acknowledged as Darkseid. But it would be so dope if they did acknowledge new gods or anything like that. But I fear that they don't want to go down that of like the Snyder kind of questioning of what that could mean if they did acknowledge Darkseid, given that in Justice League, obviously Darkseid was, you know, there as well. So they're probably going to play that down just a little bit, but whilst also being faithful to how they get all of this tech. Next up, the JSA are coming in to somewhat police Black Adam, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're already having an existing mission or operation dealing with that of Intergang and the threat that they pose and what they're up to. Maybe they're already aware of Ishmael Gregor trying to seek the power of the crown, who knows there. But also, it's just that Black Adam's now resurfaced and he's throwing a spanner in the works as well, which is where maybe they all get involved. And that's when Black Adam replies, well, I do. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with killing people. Just basically showcasing a bit of who Black Adam is. This could even be where Hawk fights Black Adam. Maybe not going that far in the fight. Probably even with Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate getting involved and stopping it. Kind of like, you know, pulling two kids from each other, scrapping. This is when we get a little bit of a taste, I guess, of the comedy of the movie, because this guy smacks Black Adam over the head and he just kind of stares at him. Then it cuts to somebody getting thrown and yeeted into the sea. Might not even be the same person, by the way. Just want to put that out there. This could be a freedom fighter because we see Adriana there, but it's really hard to make out if that's one of her men or if it's just someone else in the movie. And I think as well, Adriana will be quite significant, of course, especially given her comic counterpart, goddess comic character, if you will, of which she doesn't appear to be in the trailers of any kind of costume. So who knows if she's going to get imbued with her Isis powers at any part in the movie, perhaps at the very, very end. I mean, even at the very least, I'm sure they're just going to give nods to it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't fully indulge her actual comic book character of that of the goddess version of herself. But she has changed Black Adam's view of the world before. I mean, obviously when he's released here, he has quite a narrow-minded perspective and very stubborn-minded perspective by the looks of it. That is probably going to be shifted a bit by her, that of maybe the JSA, most likely Dr. Fate, to kind of just ultimately not change him massively, but maybe a little bit less impulsive. And who knows, maybe she'll be gifted the amulet of Isis and imbued with powers at some point, but we're gonna have to wait and see there. I also almost completely forgot to mention this kid. I'm not entirely sure who he could be, but he seems pretty significant to the plot. He's quite often seen with Adriana, even in old DC fandom footage. It looks like he's being taken out by this guy here. So, like, was he about to use a power in this moment, considering he's being taken out? Or maybe it's something as simple as this person here is saving him and he's about to get hit, so that's why he's raising his hands. But we do see Black Adam come across him in concept art, so I do wonder what his role is. Maybe it could be argued that Intergang is after him as well. I would love your theories down in the comments below. So that's more or less every detail I had to say about the stuff that stood out in the trailer. In conclusion, I thought this trailer was pretty decent. I don't think it like blew me away. I've been looking forward to Black Adam, and I would go as far as saying excited. And I feel like this trailer could have shown some more shots that we haven't been shown in DC fandom in the past couple of years. I'm not like putting it down too much. We did get a badass, you know, Dr. Fate shot and things like that. But we get the same shots of Atom Smasher, Hawkman. They didn't really show any Cyclone in the trailer from that of what I can remember from the top of my head. Same angles of Pierce Brosnan talking to Black Adam as we've seen in previous trailers as well. Just considering how much of this movie is in the can, I feel like they could have shown more, but I feel like they're going to go very, very, very explosive in the second trailer. Just again, it's just like the same scenes of him coming down where the, you know, it's in that kind of temple-y room where the crown is floating. I just feel like we could have got a little bit more of an oomph, maybe a little bit more of an impression of the antagonists of the movie outside of, you know, Black Adam, because it's still his movie. Obviously, that's going to be established, but as I said, like Intergang, who's behind Intergang, who's the main guy in Intergang that Black Adam's going to have to kind of stop, because obviously there's going to be some kind of rivalry of power there, because Black Adam could just go through present-day Kahndaq and absolutely decimate Intergang with a click of his finger if he wanted to, if they weren't much of a threat, which kind of gives some merit to the rumors that someone in Intergang would have to be kind of formidable for Black Adam for him to not just click his fingers and be rid of that threat and all fine and dandy, right? So yeah, I mean, I had a good time with the trailer, just wanted a little bit more, but let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Do you have any theories to expand upon what I said? I read every single comment, so looking forward to see what you guys have to say. Like this video if you did enjoy. Do subscribe for more breakdowns just like this on Black Adam and other DC stuff, Marvel stuff, you name it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you people of the DC Universe in the next video. Goodbye.